Good evening. My name is Wallace Gator Bradley, and I'm the president of United in Peace, Inc. And this show is being brought to you by none other than a great producer who happens to be the not executive director. I'm about to fire her. She's going to fire me. She happens to be the chairman of United in Peace, Inc. And she's also the executive director of this show. She makes sure that I be on point, and that's none other than Terry Marsh Bradley, someone that I hold dear to my heart because God blessed me to be married to her. With that, let me say to God be the glory, because I got a lot to say in a short time to say it. As we all know, the election is right around the corner. I'll try to have a special guest for you here today, but you know campaign is happening, and he had to go downstate. I'm talking about none other than J.B. Pritzker. Something that's key and very important is this election in 2018 across the country. We saw what happened in Pennsylvania. I want to say to the voters in Pennsylvania, hooray, hooray, hooray for electing a Democratic congressman. One of the things that we can do to help put Trump in check in 2018, you don't have to worry about who he was colluding with. If all the voters just come out and vote for Democrats for the United States Senate and for Congress across this country, they'll be able to bring some justice, and they'll be able to put this country back where it was before Trump became president. That's out of there. What's important now is local politics. One of the things that's wonderful, I'm glad that the Tribune gave their endorsement to County Board President Preckwinkle. I know she's running against another guy, but she's proven time and time again why we must keep her the president of the Cook County Board. She's a strong leader. She don't bite her tongue. She get things done. So for the Tribune to endorse her, and the Sun-Times has endorsed her, I want to say hooray, hooray, hooray. And Tuesday, let's vote for her to be re-elected as County Board President. Let's vote for Jesse White to remain the Secretary of State. Let's vote for Pritzker to become governor with Giuliani as his lieutenant governor. Let's vote for Berrios if you choose to. And someone else. Let's vote for all the great judges. I got 3 that I love. That's Tom Samsianis, who's running countywide. That's Judge Anthony Swanigan, that's running in the 15th Sub-Circuit. And that's Judge Travis Richardson, that's in the 2nd Sub-Circuit. Let's vote for them. And let's vote for Ms. Steele for the Water Reclamation District. And there are some others that we need to vote for. I'm mentioning them because I can remember that I did go in there and vote for them. I voted early, and I was blessed to take my granddaughter, who had became 18. And she was happy to be able to go to 69 West Washington, register, and vote. That's what we can do, people. We can go to 69 West Washington, register on the same day, and vote on the same day. And something else, for all the young men and old men and young ladies and older women who have been incarcerated. If you are an ex-felon, you got the right to vote. And this is the time when ex-felons need to come out, and we all need to show our strength to vote. That's one of the reasons I'm with J.B. Pritzker, because he has a heart and he has a serious concern about making it where ex-felons can have a better life once they're allowed to come back into society. And one of the things that's key, we all scream about change, and we get caught up on that word change. And we sometimes don't realize we have a responsibility to help an individual change. That's what I'm meaning about Joe Berrios. From what I read in the papers, they just come to grips with what was really the problem with the assessor's office. And that problem has been going on for over 40 years. Now this guy that everyone is saying they want to vote for him to get rid of Berrios, if you elect him today, the problem that you say you want to change will still be there and probably enhanced because he don't know how to fix it. And he says this, elect me, pretty much is what he's saying, elect me and I don't have a plan. And if I don't do something, then elect somebody else in 4 years. Why waste 4 years when we as a people can help Berrios change it for all of us? And something else that I've been harping on, when I see people trying to convince our young adults, like I had to share with my granddaughter. I couldn't go back there with her, so I told her to Google the candidates that's running for governor and see what they have done and what they promised they're going to do for the people in the state of Illinois, especially for African Americans. So when she went back and she voted, and she came out and she was happy, she had a little wristband that said, I voted. And I asked her the question, who did you vote for? And she was happy to say that she voted for J.B. Pritzker, and so was I. So when we see our African American leaders saying we should vote for Chris Kennedy just based off the fact or the assumption that we should vote for Chris Kennedy because his uncle, JFK, and his father, RFK, sacrificed a lot and worked hand in hand with Martin Luther King like they were friends during the civil rights movement. And those of us, including those that support him, especially Email Jones that did the commercial, they know that's not true. Okay? They know that there's a White House tape that says that John Kennedy told his brother Robert Kennedy that he didn't want Martin Luther King nowhere near the White House because he felt it was like bringing Marx talking about the communist leader into the White House. Now that was a recorded conversation. It was a White House tape, and it was a recorded conversation between two brothers. One was the president, the other one was the attorney general. And as history would show, and as those that's with Chris trying to tell people to vote for Chris, knowing that Chris hasn't done anything for the African American community, They know that it was Robert Kennedy. I'll see you, caller. It was Robert Kennedy that put J. Edgar Hoover on King to investigate King. And they did some horrible things with that investigation to the point that they're not going to release the papers on that until 2027. Caller, could you please state your name and state your opinion?
Good evening, Mr. Bradley. This is Paula. How you doing?
Hey, Paula, how you doing?
Okay, I see. I like that T-shirt you got on there.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Now I know who to press the button for.
That's what I'm talking about. I love you more.
That's right. That's right. I see you with that shirt all the time. That must mean something.
Yes, ma'am.
Looky here. Let me ask you a little something about this school walkout yesterday where they had all the children all over the United States, right?
Okay. Right.
Trying to make a point about guns and this and that.
Right.
First of all, in my opinion, I believe it starts within school. These kids on these days got mind-altering drugs that we cannot find or get rid of. They're getting guns that we don't know where they're getting from. The kids in school got to start sticking a little bit together.
No.
Start making more friends. Cut it out with the guns.
You know,
go for your education.
Right. I agree with you. I don't want to cut you off. I got another caller. But I agree with you. Okay? And one of the things is, when you see how a lot of the children, I'm just reading that in the paper here recently, are given Ritalins and all that mood acting or alternating drugs, I have to agree with you on that. But one of the things is this. I commend the students that protested peacefully, especially that one brother, I don't know what town he was in, when he ended up coming out protesting by himself. Behind the children protesting around the country for the 17 minutes, is making the adults that's in the legislature decide to make stands on doing what they can to help stop with the assault weapons and the bump stock, you know what I mean? And for children to come together in a peaceful protest is showing that they realizing that everybody's lives matter. So to the children that came out and peacefully protest, I saw where some parents were protesting with the children. I want to say hooray, hooray, hooray. But to those who came out to protest and did nefarious things, I want to say you was wrong. And I believe that there's going to be consequences for your actions. And I pray that you learn a lesson from the consequences. I'm glad that no one got hurt. And I thank God for that. So moving forward, I see where Superintendent Johnson, Eddie Johnson, was deposed in the lawsuits involving Jones and LaGreia shootings. That's the shooting where the young brother allegedly was swinging a bat and his police officer killed him. And then the police officer ended up killing a lady who happened to be in the building too. This officer was found not to be justified in the shooting. This case is getting a lot of attention based on what the law department of the city of Chicago and the law firm that they hired, I believe it was the Hale law firm, when they tried to file a motion to make the young man, LaGreia, responsible and his estate accountable for the police officer killing Miss Betty Jones. I'm glad the mayor stepped in and made sure that motion didn't rightly see the light of day in court. For that effort, I want to say hooray, hooray to him. And now that Johnson was deposed and the mayor is supposed to be deposed in this case, I just think, just my opinion, I'll be the mayor, need to settle this case and stop paying that law firm taxpayers' dollars for a case that the city is not going to win. He needs to solve this case. When they made that bogus motion, he apologized to the father. It's time to stop it. Settle this case with that family. Carl, I see you. Talk to me.
Yes, sir, my friend. Let me say this first of all, that you got a great crew, and that really includes your wife, your lovely wife, I should say.
Yes, sir.
But you know what about the police? It could be 7 o'clock, 6:30 in the evening at a barbecue, and a few kids come in and start shooting, and there's not one witness. But yet at 3:30 in the morning, if there's a police shooting, man, there's 350 witnesses. Until it starts to get evened up, nothing's going to change this city.
Right.
And I know you understand that. So you listen, they say, snitches
Right.
get stitches. Well, believe me, I'd rather have a few stitches than be shot dead.
Right, I agree with you on that.
Yes.
I got another caller.
You know what?
You know what, man?
You're a great show, and you're a great guy.
Right. Thank you, man, for calling in and voicing your opinion. You're 100% correct. And some of the communities, they got this new technology where if a gun go off, they can get there within a minute. But with this case, that's why I said the mayor need to settle this case. Can't win this. That police officer was wrong. I personally believe he should have been charged with double homicide. Whether the federal government take the case because the state's attorney says she didn't see enough evidence. But moving forward, let's get back to this governor's race. You know, at the last debate, they only had 3 at the debate. That was Kennedy, Pritzker, and Bitts. And Kennedy and Bitts were sparring over who should drop out of the race. Kennedy said Pritzker should drop out of the race. And Bitts says Kennedy should drop out of the race. And I'm saying this. I believe, it's my opinion, paying attention to the election. That's what I do as an urban translator and political consultant. I believe that Bitts and Kennedy are surrogates for Ronna because of the things that they're doing to try to suppress the black vote by keeping the black vote split. And the reason that they didn't have T.O. Hardeman and Dapper, I think that's how you pronounce his name, at the debate, even though they come into the home stretch, is because they say that T.O. Hardeman is at 2% and Mr. Dapper, I believe that's his name, he's at 1%. And it says that it says that Mr. Divers' campaign mainly operates on $85,000 in loans that he made. And Hardeman Till only had, starting the year, only had $530.10 in his campaign fund to start the year. And that Till hasn't reported any big contributions. The fact of the matter is this: it costs money to run a campaign. Everybody knows that Ronald already got $70 million saved up in his account to run this election. Pritzker has spent over $68 million. I'm not saying they don't have a right to run. Everybody got a right to run. I'm just letting you know the facts of the matter. One of the things that's coming up is, it seems like Kennedy says he offers the truth, and that's why he should be elected. What truth is he speaking on? Is what I'm asking. A lot of people in the community and across Cook County said they never heard of Chris Kennedy other than Merchandise Mart. Okay? And then some people, because of the commercials, just realized that he was appointed to one of the universities to be on the board or something or other. And then things came out in the paper about the project that he had in Cleveland. And I'm quoting from an article in the Tribune. And it says, one project from his time at the Mart that Kennedy doesn't talk about is nearly a $500 million public-private partnership to build a convention center and medical mart in Cleveland, which Kennedy brokered through a family friend. Is that something like pay to play? The friend was among local politicians who gave Kennedy's company a no-bid contract and pushed through a controversial sales tax hike. Sales tax hike? I like hiking taxes. To pay for the project, which now sits largely emptied and has failed to bring in the promised revenue. And that's from a Tribune review of the deal. Now, if he couldn't handle a project in Cleveland, but he don't speak about the truth about this project to justify why he should be governor. I heard him say, why should the people trust Pritzker? Because he may do a campaign, a commercial that may be a lie. When there's commercials that's out there, everyone is lying. I'm just saying, one of the most important things, don't let me be the one to tell you who to vote for. Make yourself an educated voter. But one of the most important things is go to the polls and vote. Do not sit at home and say, I'm tired of them, all of them are crooks, then you don't vote. That's how Ronald tricked us before, and that's how he ended up in office. Trump came back and tricked Americans again, and that's how he's in office. I'm telling you, get out and vote. I'm asking you to vote for J.B. Pritzker because I believe he's the best candidate that's going to help Illinois. And I'm basing that off of what I've seen Ronald do to Illinois and what I've researched and saw what Bitts did when he was in the legislative body. and what I've read, what Kennedy has done. And with that, I want to say, please, get out and vote. I did. And that's why I have the time to tell you to get out there and vote too. Please vote. March 20th, 2018. Let your voices be heard when you go in that booth. With that, I want to say, to God be the glory. Please get out there and vote. Thank you.